Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. This is Starters Order 7. And we got some big races booked. I'm not entirely convinced I booked the right races. We're having to shuffle about and put people at wrong distances. Just get everyone a race before the end of the season. And that's kind of what we're up to. We can book about, a week before the end of the season. So once we get through these two races, we're able to check right at the end. I'm not 100%. But I am thinking, like, Oko's got nothing left to run for, really. I don't need to run these. I can, but I don't need to. And, at best, we're going to get 10 Group 1 wins. We're not going to get 15. We're not going to race as a 5-year-old. We can't get a 140 unless we have a Monster Japan Cup. Like, is there any real point in having 12 Group 1 wins? Does it really matter? Does 134, 5, 6 matter? Not really. So putting Out Cold into the breeding barn after the next race that I care about being the Japan Cup, I think is fair. So I'm very much leaning towards that. I might change my mind depending what happens at the Japan Cup, etc. But overall, that's kind of what I think might happen. Mysterious Trader, we're actually coming down to a mile 1 for the QE2 Cup. Because there isn't really anything for him at a mile 2, and I didn't want to go up to a mile 3. There wasn't really good selection for MT at all. So, yeah, we decided to go a different way, and this could be, the 10th Grade 1 win. It's not an easy race, but it's also probably not the toughest field we're going to run against. And I do like this horse, and we have been running well. And so I figured it could be a really nice way to just test the horse again, get that 10th Group 1 win perhaps, and, that mid-130s rating at the end of it, which would be nice. We may be able to even figure out another race before the end of the season come late December, depending how things are setting up. But, yeah, that's kind of been the plan here. So a couple others have moved around in different ways. Shy Prince, I've gone after the Clark because it's the only other Grade 1 at about the right length that I can even find. Like, there's nothing really on a mile 4 that I like. So, like, what can I do? I can wait on the Arima Keenan, but I can also run this at a mile 1 and then step back up for the Keenan. And I'm sure we're good enough to win this just if we challenge early. So I don't love it, but I don't hate it, and we can run both, is my thinking. So for now, that's kind of a placeholder. And because it's a placeholder, I didn't want to make, like, the QE2 the placeholder, even though it's a bigger race, and, you'd want your better horse in it. But I think, as we discussed with Mysterious Trader, apart from the Arlington Million, the Sun Met was the Sun Met. That, it is what it is. We don't win in South Africa early on in the season. That's fine. We've had a lot of horses trip there that have dominated otherwise. But a couple of seconds, this is the only one that's kind of out of sorts, really. So, yeah, I think the QE2 Cup's the right move there, which means Shy Prince has to hold something else in the meantime, but probably takes Yuri McKeenan if we kick Out Cold to the breeding barn. But like I say, the options were very limited in what we had because I needed to find races for other people. I could do the Champions Cup. That could be, something different. But if I'm going that far off distance, I'd also rather have the easier race. If I'm honest, nothing at a mile 2 at all. Nothing at a mile 3. And like I say, at a mile 4 until we get to the Keenan, there's nothing. So, yeah, we're in on those kind of bookings. Out Cold runs a Japan Cup and then goes into the barn. Maybe even the Hong Kong Vase, because we can still breed from her. Because I don't think I'm going to be putting double into the barn because we're running December 20th, which is too late, and I want to run that. I don't have to, but I kind of want to run that. And the 2-year-olds are all getting their races in as well. We don't think we're going to breed from them this year, which is fine. We have 8 foals from Colkin Lock. If this is a monster horse, I'm going to regret not breeding. So there is that. But I'm willing to take that risk. We'll have 8 foals this year. We kept 7 from Emirati. We'll probably only keep like 5 or so of these 8, if I'm kind of guessing how likely it is. So I don't really think we're going to be breeding for a while. And yeah, I do think Culkin Lock will be there next year anyway for the 2-year-olds and so on. And I might just back up this save, actually. Give me a second. I'm going to copy this save into another slot, into slot 8. And then I can breed from them and put them on the transfer list. They won't be in this game, but they'll join all these yearlings and other solid horses I've bought from auctions that weren't too bad into this list. And I'm going to have to figure out exactly who is who on this list at that point in the future. But I think that's what we're going to do. So bear with me just a second, few. It's going to take me a couple of minutes just to go copy the files over. So yeah, just into the save file, I've copied over all the ones that have a 7 in them. And yeah, literally just replacing all the 7s with 8s is all we need to do. And then I can cut and paste them in here. And again, we just save this one. And I can save and quit. And now I have this version of the save in slot 8. I can load up. Hopefully it doesn't crash at all. No. Sometimes if you do it wrong, it might crash. But at least we're here. And then the one thing I can do here is just retire all the fillies to stud. And like I say, we won't have them for our actual game, but we will have the foals on the transfer list just in case. And so then we need to find Culkin Lock, which I know that we found an easy way to do it. I can't remember exactly what it was. It might have just ended up being alphabetical. 26 1.57. Does that appear on the top of the lists? Maybe. It's not far off. 26, yeah, okay. So it's just one of the highest fees in that case. That's easy enough to find. Or I can just try and go forward. I clicked a few too many times. So it's not going to like it. Also, we're on that screen, which doesn't help. And we're going to have these races going on in the background that we really don't care about in this save because it's, of course, the other save is actually what you want. So it's easier to do this because that screen lags because there's a lot more data that's getting updated like in real time, whereas this screen doesn't, this list doesn't. So there we go. In full to Culkin Lock. clear the breeding pairing. And then we can go here. I know it's going to populate that date. This is going to take a second, but we're just going to go through day by day and get the breeding all on. So, oh yeah, I forgot to switch it over. So, it's going to be so much quicker just to, switch pages. And you can just see the moment it turns in fall is fine, because one more day will free up the breeding. And then we go back to the screen. Sort. Get Culking Lot breeding. Back to this screen. Eighth. So we're going to miss out on double, which is fine because I do have a copy of this save. I can just revert back and then just breed once with them and just keep that fall out of that group. So we're having to get a little creative. And I've done it again because I'm just used to clicking the skip button when I'm in breeding mode. So there you go. And on the 16th, that should be too late. Pretty sure it's like the 10th, 11th, somewhere around that. Yeah. Okay, so double needs breeding next time. So that's Horse House, I think, was the number one stable. Mysterious Trader, the top 3-year-old, and the top flat horse. What happened to Prince? What happened to Prince? That's kind of an interesting one. My 140 rated wasn't the horse of the year. It was actually Mysterious Trader, who we've been trying to test. I mean, okay, we'll take it. It's a little strange, but yeah, let's just dip back to there for now. And are there any worth keeping on this list? Does anybody actually look good enough? Willow Angels does. That's one that we're going to get from the other, or a version of it from the other anyway. So yeah, why am I trying to rename them? Yeah, we're just going to put anyone that's good into the game pool because they'll be used to seed other saves or just breed for the hell of it. 60 to 80 is tight. We can do that. We do seem to have a low consistency. I'm wondering if that's being bred in. Yeah, like if I can mix some of these together and like pick and choose, of course, some of the different things, I think that would be awesome. Of course, you can't. So really weird mix of horses, to be honest with you. The end of their 2-year-old season, 3-year-old would only be there. 4-year-old they could be good, but I'm not really wanting to focus on that. At least that's achievable. Yeah. That was with Lingolini. So this doesn't seem to be like a mega sire. Probably low confidence because we haven't really had a high bar there at all. Everything else has been kind of a mix, but stamina is going to determine a lot of whether or not Cruising Burst is useful, but at least it's kind of halfway. The extra speed's decent. The potential's been decent, but the drop-off has been pretty big. So can we fill that out and actually have a good horse for a 3-year-old season. I mean, one for the ditch is, but this and all the other ones, I don't really feel like. So Green Lanes is the other 2-year-old and doesn't work out. Cool. That's fine, but at least we've got the horses on the transfer list. And then we're only really caring about one right now. Let's reload, let's get that bred, check that full, and then we'll be pretty happy with that. So it was easy red into stud. Unless I've got that wrong. I don't feel I have, but maybe I have. I've got a lot going through my mind right now with all these. But I'll at least go forward like 5 days. If it doesn't crash or hang too long. Yeah, it's just trying to get back to that screen. I think that load at the end. So good in theory. Maybe a little bad in that way. Yeah, don't care about results. I don't want to be spoiled for results and like see someone hasn't run well and then go and rebook them or something like that. Like, it's just, the temptation is there, but also I'd rather just let us run. So I'm trying not to check results, but also just not generating them would be easiest. And this is the quickest way to skip through the month, of course. We can just get to this and now remove that. I know I can't see any results, but I'm also being a bit of an idiot there by clicking the wrong button. Yeah, it is on that screen. Cool. Cool. Run Scoop has fold early. I didn't really even think about that. It's not the best colt of filly anyway. Out cold, top 4-year-old, Mysterious Trainer, still the top 3-year-old. So that's nice that those are there. The top 2-year-old isn't one of ours. I guess they didn't race quite enough, or maybe that one won quite big. In this save, Knowles has gone to stud, which is honestly kind of nice. Yeah, Easy Red's the one we're really looking for. And I mean, not bad, not amazing, but yeah, not bad. Worthy of being there. Does anything else stand out? I mean, Pure Adventure. Did we already put one through? I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to horse names that much, but I don't remember putting theirs through, and yeah, everything else seems bad. So yeah, maybe Colking wasn't the move to make. Maybe it just wasn't at the end of the day. That's all the breeding done, so we can clear that. That's fine. Now we can go back to our actual save. And we just have some extra horses on that list to seed in the future. And I will be going through, and I just add and I don't take notes. And then what I'm actually going to do in a different save, I'm going to copy this file. And then I'm going to put in a brand new game, I'm just going to put 16 in. And then check them all. And then write down all their stats into my Excel file / Google Sheet, basically. And I can, compare it and decide who deserves to stay and who doesn't, who's got the right stats, who doesn't, at like more than just a glance, which is what gets them on here in the first place. And then I can just delete it from the actual pool that we're going to keep in the end. And that's how I can then handpick what we want to breed and how we want to breed them. So I know, from Willows down is the new set that we bred of these 6. Um, so I know at least not to breed those together. And I've got basic notes on some of the others as well of who not to breed. But sometimes the inbreeding's not too bad. But it does now free us up not to worry about putting people into the barn early, which means Out Cold now can probably just run and finish out the 4-year-old season and then go into the barn next season. Yeah. It's not really cheating or anything. It just gets around a slight issue that really doesn't matter. Oh boy, Japan Cup. Yeah, none of these are perfect distance, are they? And there wasn't like a ton of negative stuff, just didn't appear to stay. It would be better with a shorter. So I do think we're probably like 6, maybe 1-7. We're probably 1-6, maybe even a touch under, but we're definitely over the 1-4s. So as long as Out Cold goes early, I feel like we should have a chance. But then again, you look at the field, and it's full of horses we know very well. Silo Sunshine, we've raced against a bunch. Starbeck, Halanitza a couple of times. And then, of course, Schweitzer, Riley, and the monster at times that's been him, Toto Raki. Sometimes not great, sometimes amazing. That's 3 in a row now that they didn't quite get us there, but this 4 in the Arc de Triomphe, we're all in this. Then the tennis show, Starbeck and Raki were in that, and the Breeders' Cup, Manalurka with Riley and Raki as well. So, yeah, we're not the best at a mile 4. We are going to go early. We're going to try and see if we can win. This is a big race for me, the Japan Cup. I do love it. So out to Tokyo, and let's kick off the racing portion of this episode then with quite a big race to start with. And the biggest one left on the calendar, I would argue, for Out Cold Arimakinen, depending on how you feel about things, but the Japan Cup is kind of my race to go to. Class 1 Grade 1 for the 3-year-olds on the turf at Tokyo. 1.5 miles round the track. We will be favourite. Didn't check anything else. We're going early. We know there's a bunch of good French horses over from this. We know the domestics are dangerous. Inside draw, we're out a little slow, but okay. And we're going to hug the inside rail. We're going to go outside of Schweitzer Riley. Just hang back a bit. Starbeck Gunner now on our outside, but not blocking us off, thankfully. And then back to Cherry Pack, Seal of Sunshine, Mtoto Raki, Atticus Bavard, Clouded Stations, and then the 2 at the back, the Prima Vici, a dangerous horse inside of Harlan Itza. We do drop back into the main pack, and Riley there as well. We're going to go up and join them. Starbeck Gunner still now leads 1/2 mile from home, starting the turn. We're not going to get blocked off. We've got a lane to run, but we are wobbling inside-outside. We need to make our run. We are going to go early. The whole field is going to come with us. And we're powering on now, 1.5 from home, down to the final furlong marker. Cherry Pack and Mtoto Raki, the 2 yellow silks are in this one. Atticus Bavard, Da Prima as well, Vici on the outside. It's like a 6-way dance, 7-way dance. Big pack coming together within like half a length of one another. But Out Cold takes that really, really nicely. Like I say, I think we're probably 1.5.5 to 1.6 somewhere range. And a lot of these are actually a mile 4 specialists. So, yes, we went early. Yes, we mitigated with how we set up. But it's a very impressive win. I think our first win in 3-4 races. Yeah, Stain would say it's been a while. It's been a while. 130 rating. we'll see where we get. But we beat him Toto Raki by 3. Then Cherry Packed and Primovici short-headed back. Schweitzer ahead back and less than a length to Bavard. Ahead to Itza. And that's what I mean. All of these horses are within about a length and a half of each other. And we're double that distance out in the front, which is really, really impressive. CeeLo didn't have a good run. Starbeck, they dropped back quite quickly. And Clouded Stations, we don't know that well either. So a couple that we didn't know but did nothing really. But mainly the ones we were worried about being Riley, Vici, and Raki, the Frenchman. Like, those three, I figured would be among the best. I just maybe thought more of Itza or Sunshine than Cherry Pack from the domestics. And yeah, good run, but I don't know, I felt more comfortable than I thought it was going to. A little bit surprised by that, just a little bit. So, yeah, we'll kind of see. But about 2 weeks later, we got the Vase, so we're okay. But yeah, we hadn't won in our previous 3, so Northern Downs at Turf, the Arc de Triomphe, and then the Melbourne Cup, of course. But we come back with the Japan Cup, which is a monster, and we absolutely kill it. We hold our 130, we don't improve. That fall from 137 was really dramatic. Really dramatic. Yeah. It's a good horse. It's not a great horse. It's not a dominant horse, but it is a very good horse. And we've just won a monster. And I'm just trying to think, is that the biggest race that we've won? The Saudi Cup, aka the Saudi World Cup, tops it. But none of our other wins really do from kind of a prize money. The Kentucky Derby, of course, does. Didn't quite seal the Triple Crown, which is a shame, especially now that that Mile 4 would be, perfect for us to challenge early like we, just did in Tokyo. So, yeah, very nice horse. Very, very happy with her. Again, not amazing confidence, cruising burst, or extra speed, enthusiasm. No adaptability, not even full surface adaptability. But a really nice horse, all in all. And a big win. Kentucky Derby, the Saudi Cup, and now the Japan Cup. That's a great career. Even if in between there's been ups and downs and we didn't quite get our 140, hell of a career. Nearly 29 million in the prize fund. If we can win and close out with the Vase and Keenan, but we're over 30 million right there for a career, which is phenomenal for Out Cold. And then breeding beyond that, we should produce a lot. So very iffy form. Could have been a 140, could have been 20 grade 1 wins, could have easily been 35 to 40 million prize money. We're just falling short on all that kind of stuff, but I think putting it all into perspective for me, I think, 3 monster wins, like I say, Kentucky Derby, Saudi World Cup, and now the Japan Cup. So I kind of gotta be okay with that. Not just okay with that. I'm very pleased with that, and a 130 rating is also really, really good. So yeah, nothing to sniff at there. So QE2 Cup, again, I think we're going early because we like a mile 2. This is a mile 1. Probably mile 1 specialist. It's a big race. It's a tough race. I don't know quite how this is going to go. I don't think it's a monster field, but Save Flint, only a grade 2, but a nice rating. Domestic grade 1, couple of that highly rated against, compared to the rest of the field at least, domestics. Nobody's in amazing form. We're definitely the best. We do think this is a potentially 140 horse in another universe and could be as a 4-year-old. and at least has over half cruising bursts and a full extra speed. So, yeah, I think we just don't trail and challenge earlier again because we're over distance. So, let's use a little bit of that extra stamina we have to run this shorter distance race. Favorite, tipped, we look good. We don't really care about the others, and let's just get into it. Mysterious Trader. I think we're at Kranji, right? So Singapore. The 1 mile 1 furlong Queen Elizabeth II Cup, Class 1 Grade 1 for 3-year-olds on the turf. Save Flint over from America, as is our favourite, the Mysterious Trader MT on the outside, and it's a decent start for us. Not too shabby. We are going to just coalesce on the outside, but to the rear, going to tuck in slightly, but not against the rail and not getting blocked off. Kirkham Smart, Firozi Corral, and Intel Borussia in kind of tail to tail. We got a 3 with us, Just Romantic and Trenia Fandango. Save Flint is there right in behind with Santos Bond, Sindali, as well as Wehe Brava. Pipette is there at the back, and Charming DC not really doing much. 1.5 from home. A 4-way tie as we start kicking on and pushing out. Ferozi Corral staying with us. The others dropping back. The American Grade 2 Save Flint up into third. Ferozi Corral dropping back. Save Flint is probably going to come and make it an American 1-2 here in Singapore at Kranji. But MT, Mysterious Trader, maybe gets a little boost. I don't know, but we lift the Queen Elizabeth II Cup, and that is a nice run. Slightly less distance than we wanted, but again, jockey instructions to adjust down. 133 to, please be even just a tiny increase. No, we hold the 133. It's a shame, but it's a good win. It's a nice race. It's the 10th Grade 1. And yeah, we like MT a lot. That was a nice, solid run. I don't think the field was the best, but it's impressive nonetheless. And that's probably why not a ton of prize money, not a prestigious race, and the field wasn't the best. So even though we won comfortably, it doesn't make us any better of a horse. But not bad. Not bad. Japan Cup and the QE2 Cup. Hey, I'm not going to complain about those not being big races enough to like move the needle on terms of rating or anything. I'm not going to complain about winning any races in general, but especially not two like that either. I kind of like what we're doing. Don't mind that at all. So, game day decision on Shy Prince. I will say that the big game day decision on Shy Prince, just because the distance is quite off. We're hoping that our quality kicks in. If we come up against a solid horse that's maybe a Grade 1, 1 mile 1 specialist, then that could be interesting. And I'm seeing third Miba. I don't fear that horse. They're probably coming down a little too. Not as much as us, but I don't know if I fear them. Carnigan, Oriole, again. I don't fear them. Then we got Canadian Clash for an else who I know is a really good horse. If it lines up, it could do some damage. And yeah, wouldn't quite be on distance, but could be a threat. And it's only because that 140 rating, it wouldn't matter for any other reason at all. Huh. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to risk the 140 really, but it shouldn't be an issue. And again, I think what's the point of being 140 if you're just gonna not race to keep there. Um, Especially if we're not running the Rima Keenan, if we are just letting out cold run that. I don't know what else there is then at the back end of the season at any distance. Right? There's nothing after that. The Mulway and Shandon at a mile 2. Uh but that's it. That's like literally it. And that might be the last chance to get another one on Mysterious Trader. And then we got a mile. And like, I don't know who that is. Could be Nobby, you know. That one could be Nobby, but the last time we did that, we just didn't get there. Uh are we creeping up? Distance is ideal. Gonna pick up the end. Did we challenge earlier or not? I think this is one I missed and we didn't challenge earlier, maybe. I think there's one I wanted to challenge later that I maybe missed as well. But I don't know. I think the derby's going to tell us, and if I feel comfortable enough, we might book the Malibu. Otherwise, I think we just let that one go, and this will be the final set of races. Without cold on the 22nd as well. At least it's Nakayama, so we don't have to worry about jockeys. Yeah, I think I'm going to race this. I'm going to go early and I'm going to race this. I almost clicked skip, which would be crazy of me to do. Oh, okay. Did I click remember the selection? I don't know. It is selected, right? Like, I want to make sure by clicking on and off a bunch of things that it's like actually set up, because it didn't look like that was saved for the next race, and yet they were there. I'm kind of worried, and I unless I just like crash out the game or go to a backup, I can't like get out of this race now. So yeah, nobody's tipped. We're okay. We're the best horses. A couple of decent horses in this field. Clash for an Else is probably the one I'd worry about that I know. And then there's like Oriole and Third Miba, Limos Lesson. Like, those would be the ones I guess I should be more worried about. Probably Limnos, but they're coming up in distance. A couple of them coming down. We're coming down more, but we're counting on us being the best horse and the best jockey and just running clean and quality telling. So 1 mile, 1 furlong, Clark, Class 1, Grade 1 for 3 rows and on the dirt. The most unnecessary race for a horse to run. Risking the 140, Shy Prince off to a decent start at least. And we're just going to sit in this chasing pack and end up possibly getting blocked off. We're going to sit on the rail. Clash for an Else and Third Miba up ahead of us. Spoof Quarter just on the inside of Cardigan. Oriole, the leader. Limos Lesson on our outside. Morecambe 7. Pia Spear, Roper Wrong. Jojo Wisdom and Cape Work Maxine. We come out off the rail, round the turn to not get blocked off. 1.5 from home. We are going to go Into the final furlong, we are chasing down Clash Fernels, the horse we would worry about. Inside half a furlong, we are powering home. We know we have the stamina. We didn't know if we had the speed. Shy Prince will take this. The Clark has been conquered at Churchill Downs. The 140 should not be touched because we won. And the biggest risk for the littlest reward may just have paid off. Solid win coming down probably a length and a half to 2 lengths or more. But yeah, we trusted in the quality of the horse and the pace, the acceleration, the potential, the cruising burst, the extra speed, the near nothing distance adaptability. BS Wild to win the St. Ledger by 2 3/4. Come down a quarter of a mile and win the Victoria Derby by 3 3/4, and then come down over a quarter of a mile again and end up here with 1 3/4 wins against a couple of decent horses. Shy Prince wins 14 Group 1 wins then. And I think that does round out the 3-year-old season. I don't think there's anything else for Prince, really. Pretty happy in general. That takes us to 10 wins on the season, 7 million prize money, 8.8 for the career, 75% win rate. As I say, the 14 Group 1 wins, and most importantly and impressively, that 140 not only achieved, but defended, not in a massive monster race, but in challenging enough circumstances. I think I've got to breed from Shy Prince, even though nothing looks like crazily good. But yeah, every time we run, we like what we see. It's been kind of a while, and again, South Africa, kind of a difficult place to win sometimes, even the great horse. Goodwood, almost, even outperforming Out Cold, which was mad at the time, but makes sense now. Yeah, didn't quite have the distance, but almost got up on that one. And the Santa Anita Derby, just a short head against J-Red, who went to the Kentucky Derby and didn't do much. But this is the reason I think I took Shy Prince to Canada and not to the Kentucky Derby. And that worked out for us. The Futurity as a 2-year-old was another one we lost. And the Premiers, again, though, South Africa, it does happen. And Bucker's Opal, we know, is a bit of a nice horse themselves, especially at a mile. So that kind of explains all that away in my mind. So yeah, everything very explainable where we didn't win. Couple of impressive losses, to be fair. And then just, yeah, getting that Triple Crown in Canada, being able to step up and play around, getting, the Juddmonte International first, then the Derby in St. Ledger, then the Victoria Derby, and then come right back down in distance. I really like Shy Prince. I wasn't blown away as a 2-year-old. It wasn't my favorite 3-year-old. And yet here we are. And once again, it just goes to prove that nobody knows everything. And you can still be surprised by horses. What a monster horse. What a monster season. And now it's got to defend its 140 crown as a 4-year-old. Unless we take it into breeding, not to protect the 140, but it might be the best breeding opportunity because we've struggled to find breeding partners over the last 3 seasons. And one worked out okay. This one may be very hit and miss, but more miss than hit. Depends who goes in the breeding barn, but we don't know how true they're going to breed. But if Cabochon Nose goes in. Maybe that's just a good reason to keep Shy Prince out. But Del Mar, solid field, not great field. Again, we're coming into this probably at the right distance, but I also think challenging earlier is gonna be a good thing for us to do. So I might regret that one. You never know, we might do. I don't know if a win here. I don't think the field's good enough for the race is big enough to kick us up to a 130 with a win, unless it's like a big win. But yeah, we're not favoured for it. Probably on the back of that Breeders' Cup that we misbooked. I didn't really get the jockey set up right. So yeah, I definitely think challenging earlier on that race would have done us a lot of good. In this one, it should still do us some good. Tidal Avenue and Adona Live with Quincy Passion. Well, two of those three are very calm. Tidal Avenue's looking okay, but the two joint favourites are calm. The rest of the field looks okay. We're okay. I think we should win, but it's hard to tell. Some of it might depend on whether or not I've got the challenge earlier. The safe thing is not to put anything on, because I think we're fine, but Del Mar Racetrack for the Hollywood Derby, a mile one round the track, a Class 1 Grade 1 for 3 rows on turf. All the question marks on Nobles Obligé. Nobby running today, 10 to 1, middle of the pack, not super favoured, but we do believe we have the best horse, and it may be time to prove it. Solid start on the outside, move up alongside Quincy Passion, Adona Live, and in behind us, Official Fell. We haven't seen them for a while, but 4 block in behind Techno Head Daylights that likes to lead and then usually drops off half a mile on the back stretch. Couple move up, we don't, danger of getting blocked off. Tycoon's Irene Kiss Must Celebrate and Tidal Avenue in this. Can we navigate this cleanly? Can we get a good run towards the finish? It's gonna be difficult. We're inside the final furlong. Nobles Obligé is coming through. Adona Live is coming through quite well. But we left it way too late. I said the challenge earlier. We went inside. We didn't really have a place we could step out and power. We weren't blocked off, but we didn't have that like clean, easy run in the midsection to get into challenging position. I think that's what ends up costing us here, as Quincy Passion just storms through, takes it as the favorite wins, and we don't lose any rating, which is fair enough. But yeah, I don't think that was a good run. I think that's definitely a winnable race. I don't think we did particularly well in that. The drift suit did perfectly. Yeah, maybe slightly hurt by challenging earlier, but also it didn't even look like we did challenge early at all. It really looked actually like we challenged inside the final half a furlong. And we had a finish, we didn't have anything else. So, yeah. Yeah, kind of a weird one. Kind of a weird one. I don't know what I'm going to do with you. I don't know what I'm going to do with you. You should be our Triple Crown runner. Well, I don't, not Triple Crown, but like the World Cup runner. But I don't love you for that. So I'm then kind of then looking for Mysterious Trader again, I guess. I'm being slightly over distance for the first two, but challenging earlier, and at least knowing we do have the mile 2 we need for the third, right? For the Dubai World Cup. but we have struggled with Mile 2 horses in the Pegasus World Cup and more in the Saudi World Cup. So it's gonna be an interesting one. But yeah, I definitely think it's Mysterious Trader, because the one that's really on distance that should be in that spot just doesn't feel right. Yeah, we'll deal with that next year. I mean, like, it's not really a decision we have to make now or should make now. That's for sure. Just continue getting through these races here. Los Alamitos for Linguini Cartel. We are a little lazy. Okay, so is Driving Henrietta. Camela Altos is keen and slightly agitated. Platine Fistful is also lazy. Okay. We are favourites. Alinga Fanchula is here as well. So, yeah, the top four here are the horses we know and would expect something of. We're the best horse. Canadian grade ones with high ratings. Never count them out. Definitely, probably the best horse in this field. Maybe including us. Definitely besides us. And the other two are grade one winners. So, like, yeah, it's just no shocks or surprises in this. But okay. But we're here for the Starlet. 1 mile, 110 yards. We should be just about on distance, so no jockey instructions. Class 1, grade 1 for 2-year-olds on dirt here at Los Alamitos. Yeah, I don't feel supremely confident, but I like our horse a lot. Lingolini Cartel. Not a bad start. We'll move towards the front, out of the middle of the pack, and go up against the rail. Altos is there, but so is most of the field. I mean, damn, Fistful comes up, Henrietta, Altos, Queenfisher before dropping back. Nobody wants to be at the back here. Everybody wants to chase. We're going to join the pack a little bit. Step out on the back of Platine Fistful. Fanchula goes, and now we can be blocked off. That was terrible jockeying. Everybody wanted to go early. Everybody was there. We could see everybody wants to go there. And the jockey doesn't respond, lets the other horses go, gets pinned in against the rail with three ahead of you, two on the outside of you, no room really to move. Like, just go. What a waste that is of a race. 6 out of 8, just boxed in. Lazy horse and everything, cool. Yeah, so was Henrietta, with a better horse than Henrietta by a mile. Fanchula didn't even have a great run. And we're sitting here, and we dropped 4 points for that race. Like, that's so bloody annoying that the jockey just goes to the inside. I understand if it's a bad jockey. I understand if that horse is lazy and it's not going to work out very well, but there's no way in hell that happens. Like, that's just a random factor in the game, which makes very little sense and is so annoying. It just, there's no reason for it apart from the random factor. And that's a really nice horse that only comes second in the pre-morning. Everything else is a win. And bang, all of a sudden we got a 6th place on the list and we drop a bunch of points just because the game wants to. I don't get it. I don't like it. It is what it is. It just sucks. It just sucks. Out cold, up again. Off the back of a monster win, the Hong Kong Veys are shut in. Class 1 grade 1 for 40-year-olds on turf, a mile and a half. We're running clockwise, right-hand turns. That is different for us. And again, the same field. Cherry Pactum, Totoraki, Starbeck Gunner, Jamelina Appeal. Some horses we don't know: Tattoo's Ball, Almahab Exciting, Polish Glider, Aragia Waters, Regent Sport, and Windmill Kent. We've seen some of those a couple of times maybe, but not really ones we know. We are tight against the rail. It's going to be an interesting start, but we do get away cleanly. And Toto towards the front, and they're going to drop back a little bit. And Jamelina Appeal leads us out. Out cold in second with Starbeck and Polish Glider right in behind us. And Toto Rookie and Regent Sport just in behind them. Toto could be getting blocked off if things don't develop for them. We'll see kind of how they go there. Almahab Exciting, Cherry Pack, Tattoo's Ball, Rajia Waters, and Windmill Kent at the back. And Toto flies up the inside and steps out and does have a clean run. They will be a factor in this. 3 furlongs from home, and Out Cold is still here and ready to go. And Toto Raki decides to go, decides not to, then decides again. Has a ton of pace, but not enough as Out Cold just storms home. Big win from Out Cold. This is the 140 horse we thought we had, that we were waiting to go, that we were hoping could take the Arc de Triomphe. And we hit that patch of races that just didn't line up, just didn't go our way. 3 in a row, really disappointing results. And yeah, we just beat Raki, who is second now for 5 in a row. Japan Cup by 3 lengths, this by 3.5. That is a very good horse. Not a great horse, but a very good horse. Yeah, beaten by Vici, but beats us. Beaten by Cherry Glove. Beats Manaluka, but is not able to get past Lucky Sage, which is probably the weirdest winner in that race. To be honest, we don't really know anything about them because they haven't done anything apart from this one race. So that could be a little fluky. And then beaten by us now twice in a row and in good style. And oh my God, the monster jump up to 136. I didn't jump for the Japan Cup. We put up 6 points for the Veers, 4 points for the Rima Keenan. Is it even possible? Yes, it is. Is the 140 dream alive? I don't know. A bad start against the rail. Good horses. More on distance than us. But we're beating them so quickly and so comfortably. You kind of got to believe, right? And you look at this field. Manaluka's currently in there. But, like, that's just not right. I can't take this away from Out Cold. There's a Tartouche Ball, not worried, but, you know, we've just beat them comfortably. Clouded Stallion, Starbeck Gunner, exactly the same. Dancing Prize, good horse, but nothing crazy. Cherry Packed on their day can be a threat, but we have their number right now, and I'm Toto Raki. Like, yeah, definitely the main threat, but Out Cold can definitely beat this group. And gaining a bit more distance actually suits us even more. Monster race, monster prize fund, big prestige, but we didn't gain anything for the Japan Cup. We did here. It's going to be really interesting to see, can we get this done? A win in the Arc de Triomphe and or the Melbourne Cup would have probably put us damn close to 140. I guess we're waiting. I guess we're waiting for the 22nd just to see, but I mean, Out Cold has given everything it gets. And Shy Prince, I mean, we didn't have anything left for the season. Absolutely fine. It's going to be out really for the rest of the year anyway, but we are all done in this way. I am going to put Lingualini in the barn. I think we're like 2 days away from not being able to breed. I think it's like the 11th, 12th, 13th, somewhere on there. So it could even be the 8th or 9th. We could be already too late. But we will try just once, see if we can roll the dice, and we can. So that's absolutely fine. That will be our last breeding of the season. And yeah, two great 3-year-olds. One hit 140, one probably can as a 4-year-old, and will be probably running the World Cups. And then our 4-year-old, who got to a 137 and fell off a cliff, has had 2 monster results after 3 disappointing races. And suddenly we find ourselves back at a 136 with 1 more to run. I've been super impressed by the 2-year-olds in general, again. But towards the end of this season, it's the 3-year-olds and our 4-year-old that have stepped up and just seem to be doing what needs to be done. But yeah, there's nothing at all that I would like for Mana Lurker. And that was too far. Yeah, I'd like something maybe a mile 3.5. There's just nothing. If I were to move out cold, I could come down to a mile 2 for that, but that's not going to get us a shot at 140 at all. So yeah, I just don't think I can. I could run both of them in it, counting out cold winning, but Mana Lurker taking second and maybe getting a jump, but that's about it. So I don't think there's a point. I think Nobby's done, didn't win the derby, bit upsetting. Mana Lurker, a little bit of a disappointing end as well, but hey, they'll be fine. And Shy Prince, who picks up a little knock towards the end of the year, but finishes in style with massive, massive race wins and that 140 that we held. So comes down then to this final 5. Today, Helea Park is going to host, if we don't skip through it by accident. There we go. It's going to host double at the Memorial. Best horse, older horses in this though. Third Meba, Clash for an Else, Tycoon's Irene, again, possibly Renee, is also quite good. Tycoon's Irene. We never know what we're going to get. Sweet Sorrow, never ignore a grade 1 Canadian with a decent rating. We know that, but Double, the only one that is tipped. Uproar looks lazy. Sorrow looks calm. The rest of the field is just fine. So favorite, top rated, best horse, tipped, looking good in the paddock, up against some older horses in a solid field. Yeah, Helea Park, which I think might be Florida. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that may be in Florida for the Memorial. Class 1, Grade 1, 3-year-olds and older on the dirt track at a 1.5 miles. and 2 furlongs. Double, double. Middle of the gates and away. Okay, not a bad start. Though we do go, of course, to the back, into the rail, and then we kind of get out of trouble there. That could have been forming. Could still very easily get pinned against that rail and get blocked off, but we're up the inside of third Meber, Clashford Else just about half a length ahead, and Compton Spirit Uproar in the lead. We're going to just drift back a little bit, which I don't love. Kirk Crazy, Suarez Sorrow, Goot Cadeau, Tycoons Irene, and of course, possibly Renee on that inside, but we step to the out. We round the bend, we line up. We're going to go with Clash Else, and we are going to have more pace than them to begin with. Inside the final furlong, half a furlong to go, and about a length in the lead, and distancing and dropping back slightly, but Clash Else doesn't quite have enough. Oh boy, that could have been bad. But double wins the Memorial, and it's a nice, solid run. Nothing too shabby. It's what we wanted to see, and we will have another 3-year-old getting another Grade 1 win. Absolutely fantastic. Solid run, good race, good competition. Didn't quite tick up into 130, which I'm slightly disappointed with, but 11 Grade 1 wins for doubles. And yeah, kind of interesting to see what might happen as a 4-year-old. Are we going to get more distance again? Because I think we're at mile 3. Are we going to get log jammed at a mile 4? Are we going to maybe just be able to pick up a lot of the mile 2, mile 3s that other people probably can't get to comfortably? Is that where they're going to shine? And do we jump a little bit in rating as well and kind of see where that potential goes? Do we have a shot at 140? Yeah, but it's unlikely. But still a very, very solid horse. Very good season. Very good career. And I'm pretty happy with that in general too. So, okay. Nakayama. This is the big one. This was going to be a chance for Manaluka. But instead, we've got to give the shout out to the fight back from Out Cold. And a chance to at least top their 137 or match their 137 high point. They're just below that. Big race to do it on. Oh boy. And we are here. But yeah, Clouded Stations, we've beaten. Tartouche Ball, we've beaten. Dancing Prize, we've beaten. Cherry Pack, we've beaten. Starbeck Gunner, we've beaten. Not really much of a threat in most races from those horses. And Toto Raki, we've beaten twice in a row, but has also beaten us this year. Is a dangerous horse, is the best in this field, apart from us. If we're not perfect, they can beat us. If we're not perfect, we could probably still beat the rest. But yeah, they're following on the back last year's winner as well, Webo Guidance. The other 140 monster, at least for a tiny while. But the French horse, so, and Toto Raki, the other French horse, might be wanting to defend. We are overwhelmingly tipped, but Raki gets a vote. We look okay. They look okay. The field looks okay. Cherry packed, slightly agitated. That kind of distance out the rest of the field in that case. So, yeah, surprised by Gunner. Maybe some of the horse just randomly. Maybe. Raki, understandable. But Out Cold has a shot at this. 1 mile, 4 furlong, 110 yards. Rimakinen, Class 1, Grade 1, the last big race of the year for these horses. 3-year-olds and older upon the turf track. And it might come down to the French and the American. Out here in Japan, a solid start on the inside for Out Cold. I didn't click the challenge earlier. That shouldn't hurt us too badly, but it might. And Totoraki just on our outside, up ahead of us, Cherry Packed and the leader, Starbeck Gunner. Back to Dancing Prize, Clouded Stations, and Tartouche Ball, who I don't expect to follow too closely behind, if I'm honest with you. Out Cold drops back. There is an alley I could see us going into. Instead, we drop back and move to the outside. We are getting blocked off, and Totoraki is killing our race. Absolute disgusting, but we do have the stamina. We get blocked off by Dancing Prize. And Tartouche Ball from the back. How did we end up winning? Oh my god, I skipped that because we got blocked off for like 3 furlongs in a row. We're inside the final half of furlong. We got a horse from the back that's going 100 miles an hour faster than us. And somehow, we short-head both them and Tartouche Ball, and then Totoraki falls off a cliff. I apologize for skipping the end, but that was so frustrating. Off the back of the earlier one, too. Oh my god, there's no way we hit a 140 on a short head like that, but blocked off. We do win. We hold the 136. We get the 12th win. I'm very pissed that happened again. We don't pay for it. It's fine. I mean, she's going to stud because she's not racing next year. But it is too late to breed from. Last real auction of the year too. Oh, I hate when horses get blocked off. I really do. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. And to have it happen that bad and that kind of crazy. And for it to be Raki as well. Like, they just weren't having a good race and they almost killed us. Just, horrendous. Yeah. Asahihai Futurity. Soul Speaker. As I try and drop everything else out. We're pretty much the tip horse. Salt Lucidity as well looks okay. We look okay. Dolphin Shore. Agitated. Pelt, agitated and warm. Water Park Compliance. Oiled over. 3 pink triangles. Not one on us. Top rated. Best horse. Form horse. Salt Lucidity. Not far behind on all 3 counts. Those 2 should be a 1-2, but Siler Ollie, another grade 1. Very solid horse. And looking at this, Musicara Shyness is another one. But the Americans are coming in to Japan for this one. It is a very even race. It's actually 6 Americans and 6 Japanese. I almost said Russians. I don't know why. But 6 Japanese. Okay, Manaluka took this last year. We've got this to defend. I feel we're the best horse, but again, with these 2-year-olds, sometimes it just doesn't work out for one reason or another. I think the distance is right. I don't think I want to be playing with earlier or later. I think if you get it wrong, it hurts more than just running normally. So I don't want to take that chance, but as high Futurity, Class 1, Grade 1 for 2-year-olds on the turf track. 1 mile round, clockwise, right-hand turns in Japan. Nakayama. Solid start for Soul Speaker, and we will start moving out towards the front. Gives her a chance to come in against the rail a little bit. Accumulus Pelt with us. Back to Water Park Compliance, Dolphin Shore. Elise Desire, and of course, Salt Lucidity, who's now starting to move up as the other 2 drop back. Dolphin Shore coming with. Elise coming back into this. Who knows from the back who's going to make a chase? Ollie might. Oh my god, I don't know why things went left, right, center, up, down there. Salt Lucidity on the outside of us, trying to get up, couldn't quite. Siler Ollie, again, I think had a like great pace. We had this weird kind of kick out away from the race, away from the rails there, kind of like 2 or 3 lengths from, not lengths, 2 or 3 furlongs from home. A problem in the course, I guess. The pathing just stepped out slightly. Um, and then Salt Lucidity came through with such pace, I thought we were done. And then on the outside, that as they kind of caught up to us and just stuck there, Silo Ollie came deep and quick, and I thought maybe we'd lose it. And again, they just kind of slowed towards the line, and we just managed to pick it up. But yeah, that three-way dance at the front was very, very scary for me. USA 1 through 5, 8th place as well with the agitated Accumulus Pelt, and the Japanese homegrowns not doing their bit, not really standing up to the invading forces. And Soul Speaker leads the charge, leads the way, and does take it. Sorry, this isn't Nakayama. This is Hanshin, of course. We just were at Nakayama. But one of two at Hanshin today, and this is the second as Easy Red steps up. Not the best field, but also unraced domestics are terrifying. And Alinga Fanchula is a good horse, is a Canadian Grade 1 with a good rating. We know that's probably going to be a big contender. Not expecting too much from Maurice From. Should be good, maybe third or fourth, but I don't think they're better than us or Fanchula. Like I say, there's a lot to come that we may not be able to predict. Easy Red looks okay. The field are fine. Back to Hanshin then. Second of the double headers. The two juveniles. This is the juvenile fillies though. A mile for fillies. 2-year-olds, of course, on the turf track again. Class 1, Grade 1. Another mile. Another clockwise trip round the circuit. With the right hand turns we're not supremely used to. Again, a solid start, up and out the gates, nice and easy for Easy Red. We will go towards the front with Arashena, Memoriam, and Shield Maiden Can. Drop back a little bit. Maurice From on the outside. Alinga Fanchula just on the inside of them. Looks like they do have a lane. We are getting blocked off on the inside a little bit. Areti Review and Ildrain Pride at the back. It does open up. We are able to go clear, and we are able now to fight and just stride. There's that little bump out from the rails. Inside the final furlong, Ildrain Pride, they were on a bit of a charge. They drop out with injury. Half a furlong from home. About a 5-length lead. Alinga Fanchula from Maurice From. That's going to be second and third. Easy Red with an easy win at Hanshin for the juvenile fillies race. Big win, big race, decent challenge, got it done. 2 out of the 3 2-year-olds show up and really do surprise. Well, not surprise, impress I think is a better word. But after that first one was such a bad loss, I was kind of expecting maybe for more bumpy roads, and they just seem to be fairly easy for our other 2-year-olds. So, yeah, Ningualini, I think, paid the price. But Easy Red, nice run, nice win. Can't really ask for anything more than that at the end of the day. Them and Soul Speaker end on good wins, over 120 rated. Absolutely fine. Meanwhile, we should be done with breeding at this point. Make sure we're off of that. And yeah, we are indeed. But yeah, that last race was kind of brutal. Also the easiest of the 3 probably to win. So yeah, Ram Scoop does fall something worthwhile. 50s everywhere. I don't mind. A little bit of extra speed, but also an attainable a fairly decently attainable potential to grow that could put us on like 83 at the end of a 2-year-old season. Definitely a chance to get 90 plus as a 3-year-old. I don't love that name. Yeah, I don't love that. Lock Scoop, not much better. But at least it is better. Um, yeah, we look at the rest and kind of check him as a 2-year-old, rename him as a 2-year-old, but that's one that just fold early and so is going to be in. I kind of want to keep track of those because we're not going to see those as yearlings next year to make a decision. They're just going to show up as 2-year-old because we're running a longer schedule than the game thinks. And that does mean the last race is at Royal Randwick, down under, Christmas Day. Play the Queen soundtrack because it's Samoa and Shandong for the spring champion. Maybe we'll watch it from the Winchester. Who knows? It's just how my brain works. I don't apologize for anything. But yeah, Royal Randwick then. One last time. Great. Now I got Hamilton in my head. Beautiful. But yeah, Mysterious Trader should win. Doesn't look like an amazing field. Of course, this isn't quite a distance, but it's close enough that I'm not sure if I want to go early or not. We have won at Rose Hill, and then we almost won here at Randwick. I don't think we actually... Yeah, we did win here at Randwick as a 2-year-old. And then second at Flemington. We won at Hastings. We won at Rose Hill. And then second here again. So it's the only track we've run multiple times in Australia. Yeah, interesting. We should win with the best horse. Unanimously tipped. The favorite, the highest rated, the form horse, the only foreign horse, the only graded horse, the grade 1 winner. Tyson Bloomer was here last year with a couple of Americans, including Institute Spy, who didn't run that well. But I think Mysterious Trader can win, and if we win good enough, maybe broach 135, giving us a shot to the 140 next season. Say, I think that is definitely a possibility. Moyen Shandong, spring champion, class 1, grade 1 for 3 rows on the turf track here at Royal Randwick. A mile 2 to go clockwise. Right-hand turns again at the end of this season. A lot of turf on the right-hand turns. Solid from Trader. Gonna just step back and lower ourselves to position into the group. Dangerous to do so, of course, we know that, and it already looks like a pocket may be forming around us, so the jockey takes us into the rail, which is the bloody stupidest thing you can do. Pull your finger out and get outside. Don't get blocked off, at least there is a lane. We are going outside. We are getting blocked off consistently as horses keep stepping out into us. We stay out wide. Brewery Jones is trying to steal it. Honoria Buzz and on the inside, Dubashila Cecily are coming through as well. But Mysterious Trader just puts on the afterburners and starts coasting out on the outside. A bad field, a solid race, blocked off, but a nice win for Trader. Probably nowhere near big enough to get any kind of jump whatsoever. But that could have been a lot worse, being blocked off so much. 3.5 at the end of it. We hold our 133. We don't gain any more. But it's a solid win. It's nothing special, but it's a solid win. 11 Group 1 wins again. Got a couple of 3-year-olds now with that record. I think a grade 3 and 11 grade 1s. We have either 2 or 3 horses with that record. But yeah, nice little run. Nothing crazy. A little Christmas gift. And then into an auction. And I don't really know any of these horses. So I don't know whether they've foaled anything impressive to date. A lot of them haven't foaled that much. And then Para Pink has and is absolutely awful. Yeah, zero information at all on Montagna. Pink is bad. The other two might just be a little too early to tell, but don't really look like much. I don't know. I don't love the rest. There's no large builds. There's no double graded parentage. There's no great breeding indicator of over a mile. There's nothing that makes me think or feel like I should be kind of risking on any of these. There's a heavy filly that might be a good, powerful sprinter, but nothing on either side of the lineages that really makes any difference at all. So, yeah. Grade 3 through the Sawyer's line. And also a bit of money. Not much, but a bit of money through that. And then there's also double money coming through the dam side. Specifically the actual Sawyer side has money. The dam side has money. And also on the dam side has money. And also grades and a grade 1. So yeah, it's about the only thing really. Lineage has something about it that could be interesting. We don't have, and we're not gonna breed any sprinters. Like 5 furlongs, 6 furlongs, and just stay there. This has a chance to, and if it's really good, we might finally be able to either start a bloodline to get us there, or with this horse, be a runner in the Everest. Because it's about the only big race we've never ran. Reserve's not exactly high. That doesn't fill me with confidence either. Just going to drop out 5.5. I think we could have got away with like 5.2, 5.3, but we'll go a little higher. And honestly, this could have been a lot worse. That start, that stamina, and that speed, the acceleration and the speed are awesome. The stamina, of course, we want just to stay there for its entire career. And this little preview of the potential bar doesn't look bad. Please be achievable. Oh, you son of a gun, it's not. It's not. No finish application, not much cruising burst. Extra speed's okay, but nothing special. No distance adaptability, which is fine, but a little bit would have been nice just to challenge earlier. Yeah, hitting 20% at the end of our 2-year-old season, we'd probably be at 70, which means as a 3-year-old, we'd only be able to max out to that 75, unless we get a really lucky jump, which you almost never do. And then as a 4-year-old, we're counting on a jump up to 85, 90. Is that even enough for the Everest? I don't know. There's a lot missing from the horse. So I don't think this is it. But I am going to call it Mountain Climber, and I'm going to keep it around. And we're maybe going to give it a go, because it is going to be more of a concerted effort from this point onwards to try and find a way to get a sprinter going and get a sprinter bloodline. We seem to be trending towards 3 and 4-year-olds at a mile 4 on average, up from our mile 2. We've also had a decent amount of just milers That 6 furlong specialist, I really, really think we need to aim for. So, hey, maybe that will do it. But I don't know. The actual last auction has nothing, and we are the top trainer. 60% win rate. Absolutely fantastic. 76.6 million. 204 Group 1 wins so far. Absolutely amazing stuff. We are the top trainer. Mysterious Trader does win the top flat horse and the top 3-year-old as well. The top 4-year-old is Hiberthurn, not out cold. I guess we did put out cold in the breeding barn, otherwise she would have been here. 100% certain of that. Which in theory means that we're the top trainer with the top 2-year-old in Easy Red, the top 3-year-old in Mysterious Trader, the top 4-year-old and up in Out Cold, and the 140 horse, which is overlooked by so many because they gave it to empty, in Shy Prince. I've got to be honest with you, I've never actually dominated the awards like that ever, even with monsters. So Out Cold should be here. We just put her into the barn, even though we didn't breed her. But she is there. So Easy Red, Mysterious Trader, Out Cold, our facilities, and a 140 rated 3-year-old. This is the best collection I've ever had. And I don't think that should be a shock. Gung Ellen is decent. Probably not going to breed from them. Bourne Jones is decent. Probably not going to breed from them. It does leave us Official Fell. And Official Fell is really interesting. I don't think it's a great horse, but maybe we breed from it. Cabochon Knowles, the Brit, I think we definitely should. We definitely should. Yeah, there's a lot of old breeders in here that we don't love, to be honest with you. I think Official Fell was American, or at least North American. Yeah, they were American. Okay. Ended up only winning one Grade 1, and that was the Pennsylvania Derby. Okay. Yeah, very, very hit and miss along the way, I guess. Didn't develop into who I thought they might or they would. 121 rating with one win. It just doesn't feel like a horse you need to breed from. A Daniel Maple, only one win, and it was the Victoria Derby, which is fine. It's a good race. We won that last year. So that, like, they don't seem super impressive. Barathea Straight, Tommy Chic. Barathea Straight? Might be interesting. Looks like a miler more than anything. I'm trying to think, is there anybody here we could do that would be a sprinter? And Saxby Sunseeker could be interested, but they're really old. And that does mean you're probably going to end up with a lot of horses with long bars like this, which we just don't like because it does take multiple seasons to fill. Whereas if we had it somewhere around here, for example, we'd fill that in one season. And then we get another jump for the next season we could fill. And it just means we develop quickly. If the bar's big enough, it doesn't really matter. But, yeah. Like this we can fill, and at the end of a 2-year-old season, we should easily get towards or above that 90% for the 3-year-old season. That's why we like those bars a lot more readable. 20%. Yeah, this is the worst because it's just over 20. It's very unlikely you're going to fill it all, which means you might not jump at the end of your 2-year-old season. You're probably going to be like 78 to 80. And then that means the max you're going to be as a 3-year-old is this 83. So, yeah, the bigger bar isn't always the best if you can't fill it, if it's too much to fill in a single season. I don't know what to do with that horse. I don't know what to do with that horse. I don't feel like I even want, as good as they kind of looked in general, just that's too much, and that's too much. Like I'm gonna be really, really picky about things. But this is so much easier to deal with. This is interesting. We're so low here, but if we did get 20, let's just call that 48. So then you're looking at 68 at the end of the 2-year-old season, which means you could then fill that to like the 81. But it also means your max as a 3-year-old is 81. So even though the bar taking 2 years to fill doesn't worry me as much because it's almost 40% and it's almost like the most you could grow anyway in those 2 years, we're so far away from it that it just doesn't matter. Um, and yeah, like that, I don't care what it's got with that potential, but it's not worth it. Oh, that's barely over 20, but it's vaguely achievable, and you can get close enough to it that maybe you jump anyway. We'll keep Estelle. I think we're just gonna call them all Lock something. So Lock Pure for sure. Um, Lock Ice. No, I don't like Lock Ice. Lock Queen. I don't like Lock Queen. Um, I guess it's Lock Ice. It just looks weird to me. Ice Lock. Yeah, and I don't love anything. Lock Freeze. Just bleh, anything for now. Yep, that's a no-go. Some good bars, but the potential bar kills it. And Culkin and Lock is just not who we wanted them to be, especially for the save. My God. Lock Pure and Lock Freeze will join Lock Scoop. But that's only 3 runners. They're all fillies, which is great for the breeding program, but that is it from Culkin Lock. Couple out on the transfers, but boy, I don't love that. I don't love that. You know what? Oh yeah, we can't import them back. I was going to say I'll put those into the game, but yeah, we can't. So we got Mountain Climber, who suffers that issue, but honestly, we don't have anybody at that distance. Lock Scoop is fine. The early fall works out. Sangfreet Sort, I hope is going to be short distance, sort of 7 furlong to a mile. Looks like they should be. KBU Speak is fine, doesn't have much to grow. Shell Midship, exactly the same. Um, yeah, a lot of these horses look very, very similar to each other, to be fair. Grand Toulouse, not the best, but could end up being the best just because there's potential that it can fill. Corridor Straits is okay, but not so good. Glen Cremesi, Uh, yeah, okay. So we- we're probably gonna finish just shy of this. It might be okay. It might not. That's a decision for the 3-year-old season. That as well will be like 1% under, which shouldn't matter too much. Okay. Free and Brex. Brexit, anybody? No. I'm gonna call this the Eurostar because we got Brexit from Free and Brex. We got Hague. Emirati doesn't really fit for that, but that's fine. So free. It's just Annie, isn't it? It's a cult, but like it's a free orphan. What can it be then? This is Oliver. That's what that is. Um, Free dive. Yeah, I mean just free dive at the end of the day. Let's get these horses all named up. Free and pure. We'll miss innocent. Free demure. Free much. Much free. Such wow. Oh, when you're naming horses, sometimes like it all comes. Free reign. Unowned crown. Throne should probably be better, but who cares quite as much? Um, request free life. Life Emirati. Nomad's already in use. Okay. Desert Nomad, I guess. It makes sense to me, these names. So, yeah, there we go. That's all our names. That's our horses. Not too bad. Quick look at the 3-year-olds we've got. Looks like Surfer Dude came out of the field. I'm missing a 3-year-old, yeah, because we put them in the barn. There's Lingolini. Return to main stable. And then we need to do the guys first, but we're gonna get everybody in a list. I'm really gonna hate these names at some point. Like so wow. Such wow is gonna be really bad. So I'm gonna change that. I want to change it now to awesome wow, which I don't want to do, and so I think we're just gonna end up on Georgie for King George. Awesome wow. Like, yeah. Um, sure, why not at the end of the day, right? I think we leave Mountain Climber till last because they're bottom of the lists in more ways than one. Then there we go. So the 2-year-old fillies, the 2-year-old colts, the 3-year-old fillies, the 3-year-old colt, the 4-year-old filly, the 4-year-old colts. Everybody in order. Um, and yeah, and I think we do breed from Cabochon Knowles. I think that's the only thing that makes sense to me. That is the only thing that makes sense to me. If They're here because sometimes they go to breeding and immediately get retired. Which you hate to see, but does seem to be the case. And so I don't know what to do. Yeah, they don't seem to be on there anymore. And of course, they're retired to the breeding barn, so they're not going to be on here anymore. Um, so yeah, we might just not be able to find them. Okay, that is what it is. We got a bunch of 4-year-olds. We can decide what we want to do. I think double, like I say, we'll find races at a mile 2 to a mile 3 for her. Mysterious Trader is more than likely our World Cup horse. Nobles Oblige, I have no idea what I'm going to do with. I don't love those stats from a breeding point of view. Shy Prince, I'd love to run at a mile 4 or a mile 6. A Mana Lurker 2, so we might be double dipping a mile 4. Unless we decide that we've done everything we need to do with Shy Prince and we take Prince breeding. Mile 4, mile 1, everything in between. Yeah, mile 1 to a mile 2, a mile 2 to a mile 3, a mile 4, and maybe a little bit above. I'm not breeding. You've got adaptability. I could try you at a mile, but I have tried that and it didn't really work out great along the way. I think we're just going to make these decisions really early and really quickly. That's fine. So Surfer Dude will be running at a mile. I might stick there. Maybe get a little higher. Um, Same with Soul Speaker. Easy Red should come up to a mile 1, mile 2. So I think Easy Red is going to be a triple chroner. But that potential sucks. Soul Speaker's got a jump for this season. Surfer Dude, they'll both be not more than 90. Easy Red's got the distance, but is going to crap out just over 80. Could be a good runner at 4-year-old. Maybe she just goes into the barn. Yeah, Lingualini as well looks okay. At least Lingualini has the potential to go up in distance too. We got the miler and the mile 2 could work out okay. And we got exactly the same here, but this is a mile 2-ish horse with a mile 2. So, yeah. For the triple creds, you'd want triple crowns, you'd want Easy Red. But I'm guessing if I had to pick right now, Lingualini Cartel would take America. Easy Red would take Canada. Soul Speaker and Surfer Dude would be picking up the first legs and maybe second legs in a bunch of others like France, South Africa, even UK, Ireland. I don't know, but Red's the one that you wanted that potential on and wasn't there. Lingualini is the safest bet right now. Don't love that. Don't love that at all, but it is what it is. We've got 3 4-year-olds, we've got 4 3-year-olds, we've got a bunch of 2-year-olds to figure out. We've only got the 2 2-year-olds, remember? Like, that's it. Sorry, 2 1-year-olds. That's it. We need to find a breeding partner if we don't go with Shy Prince. I think we're gonna go with Shy Prince. Um, yeah, Much Demure and Sweet King Braze, which means Promised Princess is out. That might be it. Ice Queen. I think is fine. She came from. I think she came from Sweet King Braze, which is why she was the princess. I may be wrong, but I think so. I can't remember. I might have written down somewhere. But we probably just breed them all from Shy Prince, right? I don't know who else came from Much Demure, to be honest with you. Nobody. Okay, that's fine then. That's absolutely fine. So yeah, we can do that breeding, but let me know what you think and what how things are going in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe while you're there. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, all the best. Great season wrapped up. Very interesting for this year for sure. And we'll see how it progresses. Mysterious Trader, Double Double, even Manalurka. Can they get 140 with the right races? Maybe. And they've got no other 4-year-olds in their way. Triple Crown, don't know with these 4. 2 look to be probably milers. 2 could be a mile 1 to a mile 2 or even a little touch more. But one of those does not have the potential to fill this season. And who knows with the 2-year-olds. 2 great years back to back. A bigger class this year. We're going to have to get them all booked in and figure it out as we go. So let me know. I'll see you next time. Take care, y'all. And good luck to each and every one of you.